allies in Asia, in Europe. There was a confusion campaign, mentioned NATO and criticized the US allies for lack of contribution for NATO. It also resonates in Turkey, and there are a lot of questions about the air defense systems in Turkey. So within the NATO framework, within the security, the Trump administration probably is not doing enough. Turkey is not doing enough, and Turkish government and Turkish foreign policy staff Turkey and made that speech in Ankara that worked really well. So there should be something in regards to public diplomacy. Again, another thing is probably of course, existing opportunities for for two countries. One is the east of U.S. That's at least what Turks felt. So there needs to be a strong.
Perhaps we could go to Adam, to you, and then if you could maybe share your thoughts and especially maybe comment on the appointments so far and what that may mean for Turkey and the foreign policy making establishment.
Well, it's are going to approach Turkey and some of the crises that the U.S. and Turkey are dealing with, sometimes together and sometimes at odds with each other. On the Assad question, I think it is, on the Syria question, one of the planks of Obama's policy towards Syria, which has been somewhat an afterthought, has been the counter-Assad effort.
And few issues are as important as Turkey. The good news is that on November 8th, regardless of who had won, Turkey would have been in a better position because they would have been dealing with, first of all, somebody other than Barack Obama, and relations have gone downhill, as you pointed out. And secondly, both in different ways, both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump had, as a package, policies closer to Turkey's worldview. Now, each had little asterisks, one liked the YPG, the other likes Assad, both of which are problems for Turkey, but we would have worked through this, and we'll work through this with Trump. What I'd like to do is to talk about the relationship from three standpoints. One is, most importantly, and I'll spend most of my time on it, foreign policy and how that will be correlated. Secondly, Turkish domestic policy. Third, legal end. Let me start with foreign policy, but here I have to take a step back and not talk about Turkey and the U.S., but talk about the U.S. We're in the midst of a huge debate, and to some degree the Trump administration was a result of that debate. I mean, he continued many of these policies. They haven't cost America a lot of blood and money, and they're never cited. PYD. The PYD has tens of thousands of troops there in Kobani and elsewhere. The Turkish army has tens of thousands of troops there. How's the fighting going between them?
I think they're not fighting.
Exactly. That's my point. Stop. That's my point. They're not fighting. The PYD is a complicated one. It's not just totally a war to the death.
Ambassador James Jeffrey and Kilic Bugra Kanat.
ALATURKAonline.com, the first Turkish newspaper in the US.